Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Uh, Today I am going to talk about the sales variance. In fact, this is the fourth component on which we can make a variance analysis. Previously, we discussed about the material variance. Then, in the second video, I discussed about the labor variance. Why the standards were different from the actual labor cost. In the third video, I explained about the variable overhead variances. And finally, I'm going to talk about sales variance, and this would basically conclude our chapter of variance analysis. So, sales variance is basically it is a measure of effect on expected contribution of different selling price. So here it is. Basically, the difference is due to selling price to standard price. So you already made a standard that, for example, you have a material cost, labor cost, factory overhead cost, then some administrative expenses, and as well as you add your profit. So on these calculations, you consider that, for example, there is a sales price. However, when you go in the market and try to sell your product might be sold at a higher price than your standard price, or it may be on the other way around, it may be less than your expected sales price. So what could be the reasons, what are actually the reasons behind why your sales price is different from your standard from actual? So it is calculated as difference between what the sales revenue should have been for actual quantity sold and what it was. So you are making a difference between standard and actual sales. So the according to SEMA terminology, the sales price variance is the change in revenue caused by actual selling price differing from that budgeted. But budgeted means the standards you already made it. For example, suppose that the standard selling price of a product X. So we can better understand with the example. So the standard price is $15 for product X. However, the actual sales was 2000 units and the sale price was $15.3 per unit. It means that the standard you made was $15, whereas the actual sales price when you went in the market, your product was sold with a $15.3 per unit, more than your standard price. So its calculation could be like this: 2000 units sold and standard price per unit that you already established was 15. So 2000 multiplied by 15, you get a 30,000 US dollars total sales of your 2000 units. However, you sold it with the 30,600. How did you calculate it? 2000 multiplied by $15.3 per unit. So you get 30,600. So the difference was $600, which is more than your standard sales. It means that uh, your revenue was greater than your standard revenue you already established, which is a favorable. There are basic differences earlier in material variance, uh, labor variance, and factory overhead variance. We went into more details that why the total variance was occurred in each item. Similarly, in sales variance, there are also some differences. Why these differences or variances occur? So we see uh, in this slide. So the sales volume variance in units is the difference between actual units sold and budgeted quantity. This variance in units can be valued in three ways. One is standard revenue, the other one is standard gross margin, and the third one is standard contribution margin. These three variances basically contribute to the total variance of sales volume. We see one by one. So the sales volume variance in unit is calculated as the difference between actual units sold and budgeted quantity. And these are the points in which you can find out what are the actual total reasons for your sales volume variance. The first one is your gross profit margin per unit. Gross profit margin per unit is basically the sales volume profit variance, and it measures the change in profit based upon your absorption costing system. In fact, this variance occurs due to the absorption costing system you already developed, and we have gone through in detail about absorption costing system where you calculated your predetermined overhead rates. Then the second one is your standard contribution per unit. So this is sales volume contribution variance, and it measures the change in profit due to marginal costing. The first one was absorption costing. The second one is your marginal costing. Marginal costing means cost of one additional unit. And the third one is your standard revenue per unit. So this is basically the sales volume revenue variance. These are basically the reasons that contribute to the sales volume contribution variance, and you can better understand having with by solving the practical question. So let's move towards the practical question so that we can understand it in a more better way. So for example, a company budgets to sell 8,000 units. It means that the standard units are that you want to sell in the market, and you basically establish it by keeping all circumstances in your mind that our units, our 8,000 units would be sold in the market for a product J. Okay, so the price for that unit is 12 per unit. The standard variable cost per unit is here. It is a standard variable cost which is 4. This is a 1 point. And the standard full cost, a total cost of product is 7. This is a 0.2. And the actual sales were 77 units, and the price of that unit was 12.5. You made it a standard which was 12 per unit. However, the actual sales price per unit was 12.5. So we have another point here which is C. Now let's move to the other part. The sales volume variance in units is 300 units, which is adverse because you were expecting that your product would be sold in the market. The number of units would be 8,000 units. However, the actual units were sold which were 77. It means that you sold 300 units less than your budget or standard units. The variance is adverse because the actual sales volume was less than the budget. The sales volume variance in units can be evaluated in three ways, as I mentioned in my previous slide. You had 300 units sold less than your standard, and the standard gross profit margin per unit was 12 was the sales price, and the full cost was your 7. You get 300 multiplied by 5, which is 1500 units, and which is $1,500, which is an adverse uh, your adverse loss. The second one is sales volume contribution variance. 300 units which were sold less than your standard units number of units, and the standard contribution per unit is 12 your sales price, and 4 was your variable overheads. So the contribution per unit is 8. If you uh, deduct if you deduct variable overheads from your sales price, you get a contribution. So how did you get it? Sales price, standard sales price minus your variable overheads. Variable overheads, you get a contribution. Sometimes we call it contribution margin. So 12 was standard sales price minus 4 was the variable overheads. You get 8 contribution margin. So 300 units multiplied by 8, you get 2400, which is also an adverse because you sold less than your standard. Finally, the sales volume revenue variance. The third one is 300 units multiplied by standard revenue per unit. So 300 units multiplied by standard revenue or sales price, which is 12. So 300 multiplied by 12, you get 3600, which is also adverse. Now if you observe that in sales volume profit variance, you get adverse. Sales volume contribution, you again adverse. And the third one is sales volume revenue variance, which was also adverse. How you consider it adverse? The reason is you were expecting 8,000 units would be sold. However, you actually sold 7,700, which means that you sold 300 less than your standard units. If it is, for example, adverse, it is, for example, vice versa, which means if you made a standard of selling 7,700 units and you actually sold 8,000 units. I'm just giving you an example. So all of your results, all of your variance would be favorable because you were expecting that your units would be sold less than the standard, but actually you sold more units. That's why they could be your favorable variance. Now at this stage, your units were sold less than your standard units. That's why your variance is adverse in all of the circumstances. So now we have completed this chapter by analyzing the four components of variance analysis. One was your material variance, the second one was your uh, labor variance, the third one was variable overhead variance, and the final fourth one was your sales variance. In live streaming, I will give you the questions about operating statement, which includes all four types of your variance analysis. So I hope so you better understand now. Now I suggest you and I advise you basically that you should try to solve this question by with your own hands, because if you will uh, try to answer the question, you would get better understanding about these sales variance analysis. So up to now, thank you very much, and inshallah we will meet in our live streaming. Allah Hafiz.